A third meeting, and the status remains the same for the Tobago House of Assembly. No presiding officer elected. On Thursday, the 12 Assemblymen reconvened for the voting session at the Assembly Chamber. PNM Assemblyman Ancil Dennis nominated their choice, Ingrid Melville, while PDP Assemblyman Farley Augustine once again nominated Julien Skeete. After 4 rounds of voting, 2 through secret ballot and 2 audibly, the vote remained deadlocked, and the Clerk of the Assembly suspended the meeting. The People's National Movement, Tracy Davidson-Celestine, said they were not surprised with Thursday's outcome.
Expect that anything will change in terms of the determination of the presiding officer, and we're seeing that playing out in every sitting that we have had since that time that we were all sworn in as members of the Assembly. And the names once again were put forward. We have Ingrid Melville on one hand, and we have Julien Skeete on the other, and we have resulted in another tie, and with a date to be determined by both parties in terms of when we meet again to go this over once again.
Meanwhile, the Progressive Democratic Patriots will be heading to court. The party's deputy political leader, Farley Augustine, said this session has highlighted further legal errors on the part of the Clerk of the House.
Action protocol letter will be served between today and tomorrow.
And this is to whom?
And to the officer, the clerk,
right.
The clerk of the house, sorry, because she's the one, based on the law and the standing orders, who's in charge of the proceedings now. And when we go to court next week, it will be for the court to give us that interpretation that we need in terms of what should happen. Because remember, the key is getting a presiding officer.
The Tobago Council of the People's National Movement is giving a nod to the Prime Minister's announcement. Dr. Rowley on Wednesday indicated that they are exploring 2 options to deal with the deadlock: treating with who has the authority to call an election in the case of a deadlock and increasing the number of seats. Speaking to the media outside the Assembly legislature on Thursday, the PNM's Tobago leader said that is the solution.
We are in support of the Prime Minister's expression to resolve the situation that we currently face. Of course, you know that the Tobago House of Assembly's Act, or the Autonomy Bill rather, which was put forward to central government, takes into consideration quite a number of seats. And as I would have indicated some time before, those seats weren't just pulled out of a hat. They was a result of Tobago-wide and even Trinidad-wide consultation with the people. And the majority who have participated said that we need to move from representation of having a situation of having only 12 seats to 15.
Mrs. Celestine is urging the people of Tobago to read the THA legislation so that they could make informed decisions. On the other hand, the Progressive Democratic Patriots says amendment to the THA Act is not the immediate solution, but Standing Order 92.1 is. The PDP's deputy leader, Farley Augustine, further highlighted that the prolonging of the voting process is opening another can of worms where the law is concerned.
If 15 days elapse without us having the first ordinary meeting, not a meeting called by the clerk to elect a presiding officer, if 15 days elapses and we don't have that first ordinary meeting as mandated by the law, what does that mean? Does that mean that the whole THA is now null and void? And that's our next legal question that we have to answer.